All right.
Okay.
Love you.
You sure?
Thank you.
Make good choices.
All right. Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Racers News Network Live. We have co-host joining us tonight. We have the one and only Flying Airbrush, Jerron Settles. Of course, we have Pete. And our guest directly below me in our bad version of the Hollywood Squares is Britt Cummings. And the boys are going to be talking to Britt about an event that he has coming up. So, guys, let's dive right into it.
Hey, Britt, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Nice,
Thanks
cool.
thanks for taking the time to come on the show. We appreciate you. Jerron, why are you here?
I'm here to take control of this because you guys
Good.
don't understand how cool Britt's couple races are coming
Well,
up.
I'll tell you what. Instead of beating around the bush, let's dive right into it. Britt, you have a race coming up. It's big, it's bad, and we need details. Take it away.
It's October 14th through the 18th in Montgomery, Alabama. Place that Brad Willer's taken and made it way better. We're running for 500,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the main event, and we also have triple 40s surrounding the race and a race for a folk race cars stage 1 dragster on Tuesday. So a lot of stuff up for grabs, a lot of round prizes. The 500 grinder is the big attraction.
Yeah.
You know, the purse structure is a little different than everyone else's. You know, it's 500 to win, and it's capped at 385 entries. You know, people have their opinions about cap, no cap, this, that, the other. We're going to try and hold our guns and have the cap races. We know what it takes. We know what goes on a non-capped race with a bunch of entries. A lot of variables go to where, you know, people don't think about recharging the track radios. Track employees needing some rest, you know, scraping the track, maintaining the track. It's just, it's a lot of things goes into putting on an event. And when you have an abundance of racers, it just makes it no fun for anyone.
Sure.
Well, the main thing is you want to finish the race, and that's important. And when you cap it, you're almost able to finish. You know, almost guaranteed to finish.
Yeah, the first year we had this race in Montgomery, I think we was at 334 entries, if I'm not mistaken. It rained, of course, main event day, 500 grinder, and we brought our Gulfport Dragway track dryer with us, and I think it rained up until like 1 o'clock, and
wow.
people were expecting us, you know, to run the million and the 500 grinder the next day, pull the plug on that day, and you know, we knew with the 334 entries, you know, it wasn't sold out, but we knew with 334 we could get it done. So we drive the track, and we still had it done within a timely fashion. I think maybe midnight. So, and that was with a time run for everybody. So, you know, and you know, you had to have a great track crew, number one, a great race director, number two, and all of your stage lane guys and the starter and the water box guys all have to be beating the same heartbeat.
Yeah.
So, and
how long
we do?
Is the race sold out? And if so, how long did it take to sell it out?
It is not currently sold out. We're getting close. You have up until I think it's the pre-entry goes offline 7 days before the race, and then if it's not sold out at that point, you can buy gate entries for a little more money.
Oh, okay.
You know, if not, it'd be penalizing people that did the right thing.
Sure. Sure.
So,
you anticipate selling out?
Yes. This is going to be the year it sells out. And also, 385 entries, and that's limited to the triple 40s also.
Okay.
However, we did find have a lot of feedback from the local guys that couldn't race the 500 grander for one reason or another.
Sure.
Whether it had school functions, work, this, that, the other, whatever it was, and had a lot of feedback that they really wanted to be there for at least the side races or whatever.
Mhm.
And so we just actually opened that up last night at 6 o'clock. We are taking 100 extra triple 40 entries for that weekend.
Okay.
Last year, I think we had like 60 people signed up extra for it,
Wow.
and we ended up somewhere, with right around 400 cars. And all them events, none of them, I think we actually finished at 9 o'clock one night. So, the capped races just makes it so much more controllable on everybody's end. And it makes it for a experience, time, whatever you want to call it.
Sure. Yeah, no doubt. I have to ask, mainly just because Jerron is here. Is it 8th mile or quarter?
It is 8th mile.
Wow. And we still got him to come on the show. That's impressive.
Yeah. It's it's a quarter mile facility. We would give Jerron that.
So look, one of the reasons I'm here is because
I asked him to.
well, yeah, but a lot of people don't know. Britt and Galen, and I believe one more person, you guys got involved and acquired Gulfport Dragway a couple years ago. And you guys have been, what, there 3 years now, 4 years now?
This is year 3.
Year 3,
December
okay.
years.
And I remember that was just like a hole in the wall little track. There you go. And now it's one of the premier facilities in the South. I mean, you guys have turned that thing 180 degrees, and it's pretty. It hooks. I've heard nothing but great stuff about it. I can't wait to go there. And the reason I say that is because you have another race coming up next year, which I'm looking forward to. And I think a lot of people, once they hear about it, which you're kind of going to tell us about it tonight, are going to be just as excited as I am.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one for Gulfport Dragway. It'll be our not first true test, but it's going to make it basically if you just want to go 5-day in November, we're just going to do a 5-day in March. Call it March Madness, whatever you want to call it. But it is going to be called the Great American 5-day. Basically, what we did was we took 2 races and put them together. That was on our schedule: the Top Bulb 150 and the 100 Grander weekend. It's going to start on Tuesday. However, on Monday, we're going to actually have a golf tournament. Why not come to the Mississippi Gulf Coast in March? Weather's going to be beautiful. Let's start off with a golf tournament. Surprisingly, I didn't know how that was going to go, but the golf tournament has had a lot of interest in it. So that will be on Monday. Tuesday, we'll have a 25 grander. Wednesday, a 25 grander. Thursday, Friday, or Thursday, 40 grander. Saturday, the 100 grander. And then Sunday, additional 40 grander. So that's 5 races. Here's the kicker. Why Jerron likes it and why it's going to be a big hit is it's going to be a buy one, get one, capped at 200. Now,
really,
I don't think that I'm allowed to say the price of the race right now, what it's going to be. But if you add all that up, 5 days, everybody's going to be doubled. 200 cars, 400 entries, however you want to put it. And we're going to do it 5 days in a row. And basically, you're going to be able to do that for $165 an entry.
Which is unheard of for that money.
Right.
And being able to double.
Right. So, go ahead, Ron.
No. Good. I was just going to say the other reason that I'm excited about it is because I'm fat, and if anybody knows the Louisiana, Mississippi area, it's the best food in the world. I don't care what I say, not the country, the world. And they're gonna have a party, a racers party, not just, some little tiny racers party, but they're gonna have probably a 3 or 4 day racer party with, I know, seafood boil, crawfish, the whole deal, right?
Yeah, that will be right at the beginning of crawfish season, so it would definitely be a lot of mud bugs get slaughtered there. Yeah, Jerron, it took us a while. It took us a couple years to convince you that the food was better here, and
Yeah.
it took probably 3 years to convince you that the seafood is the absolute best in the world.
It is. Growing up in Maryland, I always, we got Chesapeake Bay, we got crabs, we got everything. And I went down there, like you said, for 2, 3 years. Now, no, we still got it. But no, I concede the Louisiana area has the best food, the best seafood ever. The gas station food, like I tell people, you got to go to the gas station. That's where the best food is. And everybody's like, the gas station? No, the gas station is the greatest food you will ever have in your entire life. So that's a reason to go. Like, I don't care. The racing, to me, the first time I raced with these guys at the Belrose, no problem, years ago, that was a party that we went and made some runs at. That wasn't a drag race. And that's what I'm expecting Britt's race in March to be, is a cookout, and you can go get in your race car and make some runs. So that's why it's
Party
worth
with race cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be a Cajun South Mississippi feast, seafood feast, the whole week. You will not go hungry at that race, I promise you.
Now, and you will be dialing up by the end of the week for sure.
Yeah. But,
You won't be holding what you were holding on Friday on Tuesday on Friday for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Gulfport Dragway is your racecation destination. Everything that you have any concern or need for is within 10 minutes of the track. Airport, 10 minutes. Casino, 10 minutes. Golf course, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Walmart, 5 minutes. Longhorn, 5 minutes. All the good restaurants, 10 minutes. The beach, 10 minutes. So it's your racecation destination is all I can say. And, one thing I didn't mention earlier was I did say that. It's going to be limited to 200 entries, buy one, get one, which is essentially 400 cars to go down first round every day. We're going to start promoting this really hard towards the end of the year. Right now it's a lot of racing going on.
Sure.
The pre-entry will start sometime early January, and it will probably end in early January. Shortly after it goes live. It's going to be one of them ones that sells out in minutes.
Wow.
If not, check it.
In my new math, I'm thinking for under $1,700, you're going to have 2 entries for 5 days. And the lowest amount of money that you're running for is how much?
25,000.
25, and the highest is 100.
Yes.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Pete, you got to load up the Vega and head down.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Good one for the time. And
I just want to see him play golf.
I will tell you that I'm probably better at golf than I am at drag racing.
Well, there's not a golf course that I hadn't been thrown off of yet, so leave that there.
So, what one thing I was going to say about Gulfport is that, not that other promoters aren't racers, because there are a lot of, most of them are, but the thing about it is, the Cummings family has been around racing forever, and a plethora of world championships, every class. So I feel like it's a fair situation when I come to you with a problem at the racetrack, Britt knows how to handle it. It isn't, let me check and see with such and such or whatever. And that, I think, is important nowadays with all the things that can go wrong at a race, basically.
Right.
Yeah. One thing I can say about at Gulfport and the Great American Bracket races, anything we do, you will always have access to any one of us three, myself, Tommy, and Galen. We're easy to find. We're usually, one of us is always going to be at the front of the lanes. Then the other two will be in the lanes or right around the start line area. We're very accessible. If you have an issue, just come to us. And, you know, we do have a race director, Frank Kahutek, at every one of our bigger races. He's our eyes in the sky. So that allows us to be out with the racers, you know, and accessible to the racers. So, you know, if there's an issue, we'll holler up at Frank. He can tell us. And if we're needed, we'll go up there and discuss it. And then make a decision based off of that. But you will be able to come straight to us with a problem on the ground.
Nice. Yeah, that actually goes a long way, because I can't say I've ever been involved in a situation, but I know a lot of people that when they have an on-track issue, a lot of people's complaint is that they feel like they're talking to someone who's never been on track. And it's just different. You know, you can relate a lot better if you're doing what you're trying to help someone with. So I can definitely see where that's a huge advantage.
Yes, I mean you have rules and situations that is in black and white and can be deemed black and white, but at the end of the day, there is some gray area to black and white. You know,
Sure.
And it's called the right thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes it's about doing the right thing, no matter what the rules or interpretation of the rules say. So, and we've prided ourselves on that. You know, when it comes to payouts, man, we have about 3 years ago, myself and Galen went to Great American Deal. It might have been 4 years ago. We went to Montgomery. We mouthed off at the beginning of the week. We were racing, and the forecast was terrible. I mean, but we elected to roll the dice and said we're racing, and guess what? The $100,000 was guaranteed, and we knew going into it that we could possibly take a bath, and we did. We lost a lot of money, but at the end of the day, we did what we. There was no drivers' meetings involved with it.
Right.
You know, actually, when it come time for the first split of the week. I had a racer tell me, you know, they wanted to know what the total purse was, and we told him what it was, and he said, "Well, you're wrong. That's not what's on the flyer." And I'm thinking to myself, "Well, what in the world is he talking about? What did I miss?" And he said, "You know, you have an asterisk down there and says purse based on a sellout." Well, the race was a sellout. It was one of them races that it was a pre-entry, and it was sold out, but the forecast got so bad. You know how that works. You know,
Right.
people dropping and not showing up. He said, "So you have an out there?" I'm like, "No, we're going to do what the flyer says. You know, it's whatever it was. It was either a 40 grander. We paid the full purse every day, and you know, that's just kind of how we do things. It's the right thing to do. You know, don't let an asterisk on a flyer determine your decision."
Yeah.
And that's the difference between someone trying to build a brand or just have a couple of races.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Great American, you know, all these, they have a lot of other big dollar races out there. They've all been out there a long time, but we've been doing 50s for 16 years.
Yeah,
at least
a long time.
So, you know,
We've definitely built the brand, that's for sure.
Yeah, we like to, you know, Galen don't like it when I say it, but, you know, it's just, we're a bunch of rednecks that like to have a good time and do things the right way.
So have you had any big races at Gulfport yet? Or this one that you're talking about in March going to be the first big one?
Well, it's going to be the first multiple day big one. I mean, this year we had it was in April. We had the triple 40s and the 100 grander.
Yeah, those are big.
And it went over well. I mean, we had Randy Folk, Dave Conley. We had the who's who of bracket racing was there. Kenny Underwood. You know, just the list goes on. Jason Lynch. Everybody was there, and just Kenny Underwood said it's his new favorite track. You know,
Nice.
he loves the trees. He loves how we keep the grass cut. Can't find a cigarette butt on the ground, you know. And we run with our crew, we run a pretty tight ship.
Very cool. Now, how come this race that's coming up isn't at Gulfport?
Well, this Gulfport deal just happened 3 years ago. And like I said,
Yeah.
the Great American brand has been around for 16 years now.
Okay.
And, it started off in Belrose and then moved to Memphis and then moved to Holly Springs. Obviously everybody knows what happened with Memphis, and we kind of outgrew Holly Springs.
Sure.
So we decided to take it to Montgomery, and then the track deal happened. And, as we have to keep our footprint away from Gulfport, so to speak.
Right. Right.
Because
You don't want all your eggs in one basket.
we don't want all of our eggs in one basket.
Yep.
We understand that Gulfport, Mississippi is at the far end of the world, so, we're only drawing from, half of the radius around the place.
Sure.
So, we have to keep our footprint out to really answer your question.
And again, that just goes to show that building the brand means something, because it would be easier to move everything to your track. Even if you had to lower the cap, you're going to be reaping all the benefits from people coming into your house.
Right.
But because you care about the brand and attracting as many people as you can, you're staying loyal to moving around and not just trying to take everything for yourself. That's pretty
Right.
cool.
Right. And, and like Jerron mentioned, we're not just promoters or track operators, track owners, anything like that. We're at the beginning of the day, we're racers, number one.
Sure.
I went and raced the Flickr Promotions race a couple weekends ago in Dallas. I'm leaving, going to St. Louis next week to the OG Million. So, we still race as much as we can. We're kind of settling into all our roles at Gulfport, and there's going to be weekends that we can turn loose. A couple of us, at least two of us, if we want to.
Sure.
So we're gonna, we're still out there. We're still traveling the country. We still out there with our people, is what we call it. We've had Gulfport Dragway has had all kind of. We've done every type of racing there is. Had every type of event there is. And after just a big non-bracket racing event, a 3 or 4 day deal, me and Tommy just look at each other and said, "I can't wait for my peoples to come back." And that's our bracket racers.
Right.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's kind of how we are. We like to be accessible to our racers. We like to race with our racers. We like to address any problems with our racers. So, and
Britt,
Jerron was talking about the food a while ago at the 5-day, but at the 500 grander in Montgomery, we started a few years back. At the first Guaranteed Million we did in Memphis, at the time it was called it was Snack Shack. So had our Cajun cooks come in, all the ones from Belrose, Jerron, when you were down there.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
All the cooking all during the day. That's the same.
Yeah.
But we brought to Memphis, and it was such a big hit. I think it was 3 days running we went that week, and the event was oversold. People everywhere. We kept people fed for 3 solid days with, not just potato chips and hot dogs. It was fried fish,
Real food.
It was boudin, pork loins, just whatever they decided to cook, they cooked, and they did it well. So
Wow.
we brought that to Montgomery to the 500 grander last year, and it was for 2 days. Starts at 10 in the morning, and they start with just any type of fried food. Like I said, you never know what's going on there. Just whatever they decide to start cooking, that's what they cook, and that's what they start putting out. You just walk up and get a plate. It's kind of real informal. You can be in the staging lanes and walk over there and get you something, go sit in your car and eat it if you want to. But it's all Cajun food, and it lasts all day long. And at 6 o'clock at evening, they cook a big 40, 50-gallon pot of something, Cajun-y, pasta, jambalaya, gumbo. If the weather's cool enough, we'll have gumbo.
Yeah.
But so instead of just a 3-hour one-night party, we just stretching it over 2 or 3 days.
I got to tell you, as a 52-year-old fat guy, the only thing I like more than racing is eating. It's kind of like, how do you go wrong going to this race, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so many people thanked us at the first guaranteed meeting in Memphis. It was unreal. We knew it was going to be big, but they was like, man, if y'all do this air race, we will not even have to pack no food. We won't have to buy no food or nothing. Y'all keep us fed well all day long.
Wow.
So,
It's important.
there you have it.
Well, look, I got a serious question for you, Britt. Going back to what you're talking about with being accessible and taking care of your grassroots. There was a time, like, I guess it's just a two-part question. The state of bracket racing right now, how is it? Because in my opinion, there was a time when there was this fight for who could throw the biggest race, right? The biggest, first to a gazillion dollars and blah, blah, blah. And I felt like that some of the promoters, or it got to a point where the guy with the pickup truck and the open trailer that could only afford to race on Saturday at his home track got forgot about. It was let's have a 500 here, 300 here, 150 here, 500 more, a million. It's like, whoa, everybody can't afford this. And at some point, it's going to hurt, the industry. I don't think it's come to that point, but where do you see bracket racing going, and how do you guys look like you are tending to that weekend racer, but how do you go forward and keep that Saturday night pickup truck open trailer guy coming back?
It's funny you should mention that, Jerron. The weekend before the 5-day in March of next year, on Saturday and Sunday, we know that a lot of our local grassroots guys are not going to be able to take off a week of work. So that Saturday and Sunday before, we're going to have a couple races that weekend for them type of racers that won't be able to do it. So that way they don't feel completely left out.
Right.
We're doing that in March, but this year at the Turkey Beach Bash at Gulfport, which is the weekend before Thanksgiving, it's going to be a non-cat field, but buy one, get one, 10 granders, which,
wow.
I've already told you what our price is on the 5-day. The 10 granders, you can't go wrong.
No.
And when I say 10 granders, there's a reason for that. Our New Year's race at Gulfport is going to be 10 granders. Also want to buy one, get one. We hoping that we are getting ahead of it, but we see the bigger stuff slowing down. We're not even going to say the grassroots guys, the guys that, own companies and guys that,
sure.
Pretty much race for a living, but own their own businesses. It's starting to hit them guys too.
Right.
So we're going to scale back on some of our stuff and make it affordable for everyone. And have decent races, nice payouts, decent entry fees, just because we see where the times are heading. We think it's going to slow down a little bit, these bigger stuff. And I think I know what the second part of your question is, but I'm going to let you ask it.
Well, it's just you kind of answered it, but because it's a deal where so many people are like, hey, I'm going here. You're crazy for racing IHRA. I'm racing for 100 grand or 50 or 40, but these guys still ain't leaving happy. There's only 6 or 8 guys leaving happy, and for the most part, it's the same 6 or 8 guys at a lot of these races leaving happy. So how do you come? I think the 8th mile situation helped that. because it kind of tightened everything up, but it's still the cream always rises to the top, so to speak.
Yeah, you're right. um, unfortunately, there is some. There's a lot of great racers out there. There's some that's just going to be better than others, and yes, they win a
Sure.
lot, but it goes in streaks.
Sure.
Names you heard 5 years ago, you're not hearing no more. They had
Yeah.
their little 2-year run, and they're gone.
Yeah.
So the local guys, it's a great thing when a local guy wins a big race.
Yep.
When I went to Dallas, the bottom up guy won the 40 grander on Sunday. I thought it was great. I thought it was the greatest thing for Johnny and Madison and Flicker
Yep.
Promotion and bracket racing.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom up guy, he was probably single entered. He had an open trailer. Just that's the kind of guys that need winning. One of the best things that ever happened at the Great American Races was Mr. Bobo won. He's
Right.
up next, and he won one of our 50 grounders. That was great. I told Gabe, I said, this is the greatest thing for bracket racing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
love
because
it.
no, I'm just saying we all love Jeff Serra and the Galidis and all, and I don't want them to not win, but at the same time, it was almost back in the days when you guys ran IHRA and, well, hell, Britt and Slater here, we ain't gonna win. So I've kind of, not that I've heard that, but I've kind of heard an inkling towards that. It's like, well, you know what, I'm just gonna stay local because I can't keep, going and spending this much money for 3 or 4 days, and I'm getting a 6-pack put on me second round or third round.
Well, that's why when you have a local guy win, it's such a shot in the arm to the whole business. Like it gives everybody a glimmer of hope that, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it. You as a promoter must go out of your tree when you see something like that, because you know how good it ultimately is for the brand.
Yes,
the brand and the sport. I mean, it's everything it's good for.
Yeah, the brand and bracket racing in general. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah.
One of the worst things that ever happened to our brand was my brother won a 50, one of our 50s.
Yeah. I remember.
I mean, was I excited for my brother? Yes, but I had to stand there emotionless, and
catch a little bit of slack.
And listening to the rumbling,
Yeah.
And but we listened to the rumbling, made it to where he wasn't allowed to race for a few years, him or my son. And at the end of the day, the people that were rumbling were people that weren't coming to the races anyway, so they're now allowed to race.
And that's usually the way.
Yeah.
So we don't give a rat's ass, what people say. We know that we do the right thing.
Right.
Race the right way and run a race the right way. So we don't give a, like I said, we don't give a damn about them.
Yeah, you're going to get people complaining like me in Connecticut that couldn't find Alabama on a map if someone circled it. And ultimately, it's not going to affect you, but it just gives people a platform to piss and moan.
Yeah. Britt, he's so far off. He said Alabama. He ain't even in the right state still. So
I'm thinking about the race coming up. We're promoting the race coming up. How's that? How's that for a recovery?
But Britt, where do you see bracket racing going? Like, can we still, like, can we still have all these hundreds or does it need to come back to 40s and 20s and stuff like that with better round money?
Man, that's a tough one there, Jerron. I would like to say round money makes a difference. To you,
but we know everybody looks at the top of the flyer, not the whole flyer.
Everybody looks at the top of the flyer. Because like right now we're talking, you haven't looked at the round money on the 500K.
No, you're right.
Hey, you should.
I can't. I don't have another way right now. Pete, pull up the flyer for the 500K.
Hey,
let's look at
Britt,
the round money.
I know where he's staying, and the internet sucks, so he can only run one device at a time.
There's a hamster I got to feed in a few minutes to keep the internet going.
the owner of that friggin' shack that he's staying at didn't pay Spectrum yet, so.
Yeah.
But but Britt, you know, I'm sorry, Pete. But you know what I mean. Like you know, can it sustain? Can we keep having 6 or 7 people happy? You know, with I don't want to name any other races, but you know everybody knows what's out there. Can that last another 5 years, 10 years, or is it great? You know what I mean?
Uh, I think that you'll still see them out there.
Okay.
You'll still see them out there, and you'll see some races go away. You know,
Yeah.
people might try to do them bigger races and not have the means to back them up, and not do, and if they do the right thing, they they could possibly get in real trouble.
Sure.
I think
Sure.
so that's on them other guys that tries to do a big race. We don't wish no bad luck for anyone, but
Yeah.
right now, I think only the strong will survive.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like, like you, I don't want to mention any names, but when you have a race like, No Mercy or any of those stuff, and people talk about how every time they sell a race, every time they have a race, it's sold out and it's packed to the gills. Well, that's fine if you're only having 3 or 4 of those races a year. And then they compare it to NHRA national events that clearly aren't pulling as much as they had in their heyday. But at the end of the day, they're 20, 24, 26 events. They still do pretty damn good. And the people that are bragging that have 3 or 4 races a year that sell out, you wonder how they would do if they had 20 or 25 races a year. And I'll bet you it wouldn't be nearly as good as they think it is.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. When we was on the Great American side, when we were doing 2 races a year, I always told people I was doing too many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now being part owner of Gulfport Dragway, man, the gates have to open every week. You got a $20,000 to open before you even open the gates up every month. So these big grudge guys, yes, they can talk big numbers. They got one in particular right now. He's popped up in the grudge world and come up with his own little class and this and that and the other. And they talk about we got 90 entries at this one and 86 entries at that one. This is all on a particular class, but I recently found out that was over 2 days.
Oh wow.
So don't bullshit a bullshitter.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I do my homework on stuff that I'm really interested in.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they could throw numbers around to me and Chris, and we'll be like, oh, okay, that's cool. But you being right in the thick of it, you're going to be able to sift out the bullshit and know what's reality and what isn't.
Right. Well, I can tell you that the 500 grander in Montgomery, October 14th through the 18th, it's real. And we're going to do just what the flyer says to the T. And if you got that round money pulled up, I just like for you to read what, just start under the semis and go down.
You got that? I can't see it. Can you see it, Pete?
He's coming. Yeah.
Okay.
Boy, cannot bear with me.
Oh, you're on page 2, I believe.
Well, listen. While they're warming that up, Britt and the entire Cummings family were like IHRA guys. Like you couldn't go to an IHRA race and not see them leave with at least one Ironman. Used to piss me off because I didn't win, but a couple of them, they got 400 of them. But you know where this question is going. What do you think of the new IHRA and the money he's spending, the money he's not bringing in, and the bashing of this and that? And, we know it'll never be the IHRA that me and you once ran, but but do you think it can stay or be competition with NHRA?
I don't know if you want to call it competition for NHRA. No matter what, NHRA is not going anywhere.
No.
That's not going to happen. I was very skeptical with the IHRA thing, just like everyone else. Then they made the move of, getting rid of some people and stuff, and I said, okay, well, that's a start.
Yep, it's a
And
good move.
Then he's so far, they've done everything they said they were going to do plus.
Yep.
So I'm just going to sit back and watch. I hope that they do well.
Yep, me too.
Because if they don't do any, if organization goes away, you can have racetracks go away, and that's the last thing we need is any racetrack to go away.
Amen.
Yeah,
I use this analogy all the time. There's a reason why you can't pull out of McDonald's and drive 50 feet down the road and not see a Burger King, right?
Yeah.
It's
That's
not, IHRA doesn't have the ability to hurt NHRA, I don't think. But I really think that the easier you make it for people to race, the better off the whole sport is going to be in general. And that can't hurt a damn thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we go back to, the old IHRA Jerron's referring to, we knew what was going on there, but you could not convince an NHRA guy to even come try it.
No.
We knew that the money was close to the NHRA money as far as purse and contingency. I'm not going to lie. I didn't tell anybody about it. I didn't want nobody that I knew going to get in my little world. We don't found us here that we're having a great time. We're making some decent money, making a lot of friends, and we rode that wave for a long time. I mean, me and Mike Fuquay still talk about it. We could not wait for Saturday night of fire at an IHRA.
Yeah. Yep.
That was, I mean, we would be in the bleachers waiting and hooting and hollering
Yep.
with everybody else. I mean, it was an awesome thing.
Yeah.
And then it was a sportsman guy and actually got in a quick 8. You got to do a burnout in front of the big crowd right during the quick 8 and all that. So,
yeah.
that was the heyday. Can he get it back there? To be determined, I guess, Jerron.
Yeah.
I can tell you this: their car counts have pretty much doubled at every race they've had so far.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's a sign for them.
Well, the one thing I said, because people were mad because people didn't show up to the first race or the second race or whatever. And it's like, well, wait a minute. There was a good bit of controversy surrounding them for about a year. So you couldn't fault anybody for not going to the first one or second one. Now it's like, okay.
They didn't buy the track. They came out with a schedule. The schedule was it wasn't a smooth start by any means.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So I think all that, people, you guys, you should have been there. Well, I just wanted to wait and see. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'll support it if I can. That's, it's not. For me, I'm different. I race where my business is, and my business is NHRA. Like, that's just how it is.
Yes.
Yeah. If suddenly my business switched to, Bracket Gulfport, and I'll be there. But right now, that's not my business model. But I don't bash anybody else for going over here, going over. I joke with the 8th Mile stuff, but that's jokes basically. But I would love to see IHRA do well, just for the main fact, like you said, competition. Are they competition? No, but competition, some sort of competition is great. It's good. Right.
Everybody at home.
Yeah. If NHRA sees the way they're treating us and says, all right, well, maybe we should treat you guys, then okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah, I think it was funny, everybody's favorite top dragster crew chief, Mario Bosch.
Yeah.
Darian wins Indy, and he has not been nice on the posts on Facebook to IHRA.
No, I know.
And NHRA recognized that. Guess after the finals, guess what was sitting in their pit area? that NHRA brought to them.
What's that?
2 bags of ice.
That's right.
You know, so
See, now that's funny.
Yeah.
that's funny. But they knew that Mario was always, you know, most of his
Yeah.
comments were, yeah, and you get ice too. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
so
That is great.
do that. They can say that they don't care what they're doing, but they better keep an eye on it for
They
doggone.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And they are. They're looking. You know, they're absolutely looking. So yeah. But let's get back to your
Yeah, we got some prize money up there.
yeah.
Chris, is there anything below 4th round wind, or is that what we got?
3rd round win.
Third round.
Yeah. So you're looking at 40 grand runner up, so 140 in the final.
So at a 9-round race, if I'm reading that correctly, a 9-round race, they start paying back if you win the 3rd round. That's ridiculous.
Yes,
That's
but
incredible.
just look at what it pays to read off the numbers. I mean, you can see it pays 500 to win, but third round winner, what do you get? How much do you make?
I'm going to assume 1,000 because I can't see it. Chris, move your shoulder. There you go. What's below 2,000, Chris?
Yeah, we can only see the 4th round win.
$1,000.
Okay, so 3rd round win is 1,000. 4th round it doubles to 2,000. 5th round that doubles to 4,000. 6th round another 2 grand added on for 6 grand. 7th round win another 2 grand added on for 8 grand. The semis 10 grand. Runner up 40 grand, and to win 100 grand guaranteed.
Yeah. So you can, like I said, there's plenty of other races out there that similar to this, but ours is a little bit different on the round wins and how it doubles. That's what we have going on that race. That's a little bit different than everybody else's, but a lot of people don't notice that. You know, just go to the other big dollar flyer and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like that. I can guarantee you. Yeah.
Right.
Very top heavy.
So, you know, that we're a little different there.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
3rd round win. Of course, I gotta get excited about the ones that I have the best odds of winning. 3rd round win, getting $1 grand is pretty impressive.
So let me ask you this though. So, you know, why does I don't know the bracket race math as far as the, you know, or not bracket race math, promoter math, right? So obviously, you know, you guys have to make money. That's you have to, right? Why are so many races top heavy when wouldn't you think it would be easier? Maybe this is what you guys are doing. Wouldn't you think you'd get more people consistently if you pay back more and take a little less yourself? Or are they not able to pay that money because entries are whatever? How does you know why do we see so bracket racing go so top heavy?
I think just for the main attraction, you know,
the headlines.
It's the headliner. I mean, you got your undercard and you got the main event, and that's how it ends up. Also, if you can go down to the winner's payout right below that, and see with 385 entries what it pays, then go start working your way up to 384, 383, all the way down. You don't have to name each one of them individually, but from 375 on, it's a little different than everybody else's.
Gotcha. That makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's something that it's like it doesn't really get discussed. The couple of big money bracket races that I've gone to, it doesn't really get discussed before you get there. It's one of those things that when you're at the race and you win the 2nd or you win the 3rd, it's like all of a sudden people start asking. And it's like, well, hey, do I get anything for just winning the 3rd? Oh, no, it doesn't start until the 4th or the 5th. Oh, that sucks. It's like they don't really inquire about it. Now, again, I've gone to a small handful and nothing like that dollar But it's one of those things that people don't really realize what they're running for below the big number until they actually get to the track. So to post that and get that out there is pretty good.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's on everyone else's flyers too. Just that ours is just a little different.
Right.
Jerron says, why the person's so top heavy and pay back more. Well, there it is right there in print.
Yep. Yeah.
Jerron hit the nail on the head when he said that you put a race like this on and 5 or 6 people leave really happy. Well,
Oh, yeah.
I got to tell you, I knocked down a 4th or 5th round win, and I'm leaving with something with a comma in my pocket. You're going to have 4 or 5 people happy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if there is a split that happens, even in the 40 granders and the main event also, there's usually going to be about 15 guys happy.
Sure.
That because if you do make it to a split, what everybody is looking for that round is to cover their tab. That's all.
Right. Yep.
It's kind of like writing a bad check. You can have all that fun for a $30 NSF fee.
Right.
And you got till Thursday to make it right.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Oh God.
So
we've all raced like that at one point, right?
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I know. I tore up some, had a bad weekend, tore up motors, didn't win nothing. In my main business, whoever's parking lot I striped that next week, they was in trouble. I had to make that up somehow or another. I'm sure to some effect, Jerron, you can say that with the painting business also.
Oh, absolutely.
Month price.
Oh God! You know what? I wish we had more time because Britt has got some of the best old drag racing stories, especially the IHRA stuff. There's one story I wish you could tell, but you probably shouldn't, and that's the nighttime at Bud's Creek. You think the statute of limitations is up on that?
Man,
probably not.
Probably. Are we talking about Are we talking about the top sportsman car?
Yeah.
I can tell it real quick because actually at 7:00, Galen's going live on Drag Champ to announce 63 of the 64 invitationals for the Christmas on the Coast Junior race.
Okay.
But I definitely have a few minutes to tell this one. So, Jerron, you probably didn't really know us a lot back then, did you?
I knew who you guys were, but yeah, I didn't start painting your stuff yet for another couple years.
Yeah, so that Bud's Creek race, it always fell in October?
Yeah, because I was there. It was early, it was either late September, early October is when it always was. Yep.
Somewhere in there. Well, my top sportsman car, I had followed it all year long. Every time I showed up to a race, it would pop and bang when the spray would hit. And, everybody says, well, did you change this? You changed that. Well, we changed everything. Rewired the car. This went on for a solid year. And I think Rockingham was the weekend before Bud's Creek that year. And we were in Rockingham, and the same thing. It popped and banged. I didn't qualify. I told them, I said, y'all can go on to Bud's Creek if y'all want. I said, I'm going home. I've had enough. I'm pissed off. I'm not going to race that car anymore. I can't do any good in the other car because I'm worried about that car. Right. So they went to Bud's Creek without me. Well, Slate calls me, like the second day there, and he says, Ronnie the King Davis, he said he's going to fix your top sportsman car. He knows what's wrong with it. I'm like, he said, do you care? I'm like, no, he knows what he's doing. Ronnie's a great guy. We were friends. And a lot of things that people didn't know about Ronnie. His in-between rounds race program was the best I've ever seen in sportsman racing. Maintenance-wise, in between rounds. So anyway, so he called the next day and told me, said, hey, change this, change that, change that. He thinks it's going to fix it. And I said, well, not going to know till I get it home. So about midnight that night, he calls me back, dying laughing. He says, you know what this fool done did? I'm like, what'd he do? Did he wreck my car? He's like, no. He said, he just went out there. It was 1 o'clock, Budds Creek time. And he said he made a damn pass down the racetrack. Said he didn't have no doors on it, no front end on it,
The front end.
no front end or nothing. So that actually happened.
Pitch black.
Pitch black. Slate said he said, I'm just going to do a sharp burnout. He said, well, he did a Ronnie the King Davis long smoky burnout to the 330. He said people were coming out of their motorhomes, standing on the fence watching. And I think when it left, when he launched it, it popped and banged again.
Oh, come on. All that.
Ronnie Davis did not fix my car.
Well,
That's
what yes, that is.
Yeah.
I thought this was at least going to have a happy ending.
Well, it did. The car eventually got fixed. I won races, so yeah, it got better.
Could I ask what fixed it?
That was 40 years ago.
It was the brand. It was the brand of ignition boxes.
No kidding.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah. And I assume you tried several, and they all did the same thing.
Yeah, I had probably 20 of them. I was sponsored by them.
Okay.
And it probably had 20 different ones we tried on it. And none of them worked. And actually, a long lost name and bringing him up from a ghost from the past is Tony Stevenson's actually the one that fixed it.
That's right. I do remember you saying that. Tony Stevenson.
He come and said, handed me another brand box and said, put this on your damn car. I don't want it. I don't care. I'm tired of seeing you struggle. I don't care what your sponsor says. Said, let's try this. And we did, and that son of a bitch went right down Broadway.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you almost feel like there isn't another brand out there. It's like
Oh.
they've gotten better.
I hope.
Yeah, they've gotten better. So.
Wow.
Well, Britt, we'll let you go. Thanks a lot. Give us the dates for both races one more time, and then we'll definitely.
October 14th through the 18th is Montgomery, and then let me get to it here on the calendar. Make sure I give you the correct dates for March. It's actually going to be February 23rd through March the 1st.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Maybe not. I got something totally different on my calendar here. I might have just been how it was downloaded. Don't hold me to that. We're gonna stick with the first weekend in March.
Right.
If you're available, we'd love to have you on before that race so we could talk about it.
Oh, absolutely. Let's do it during down season.
Yeah.
We time to push it done.
Excellent.
I'm just gonna say after the holidays, I'll get in touch with you.
All right.
Put on another hat. Britt is a man of many hats.
He's doing a hat dance.
I like
Britt,
it.
thank you for your time. Good luck with your next interview, and best of luck to you at the race.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me. Great talking to y'all. Look to do it again soon.
You got it,
All
my
right,
friend.
Fred. Have a great evening.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. I'll take
Thanks,
it.
Britt.
All right.
See you guys.
Jerron and Britt.
Yep. So before we bug out of here, because I know Pete's leaning towards sleepy time.
Well, I'm about ready to turn into a pumpkin.
So since the schedule got dropped with the additions, what do you guys think? For
The NHRA schedule?
Yeah.
Well, I can say I knew about MIR for about 2 months, and I was sworn to secrecy, but I was excited about it. Obviously, it's my hometown. I live maybe 15 miles from MIR, so I know Royce has been wanting that for a long time. Like that was one of his deals
it was
20 years
funny
ago.
listening to the rumors of MIR, and everyone was saying it's going IHRA. And then the next thing you know, it popped on the NHRA national event calendar. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah, it was funny because I saw those two, and I'm like, I even went on a couple of posts and was like, nope, it's not IHRA. Trust me, it's not. But it's going to be cool. I think the one thing, there's a lot of people are like, oh, there's not enough room there. There's enough room. There's a few things that he's going to have to do to make some changes. I know he's got to add the from 1,000 foot on another foot of concrete wall. And they're going to do some things with the bleachers and stuff like that. But the track is phenomenal. I think pretty sure Clay Milliken holds the IHRA top fuel track record there with a 442, like 330. So it can handle it. The track's fine. Parking, I think where people are kind of so the way the track is is situated, on one side they have spectator parking, and then the other side is all pit parking. And I think people are forgetting that when they had the President's Cup, like the race Britt was talking about years ago, they used both sides of the track for pit parking. And that's more than likely what they're going to have to do here. I think people are like, oh, there's not enough room, but spectators are just not going to be able to park in the track. And from a person that goes to 10 or 12 national events a year, most tracks don't spectator park in track.
No.
Spectator outside the track. So
If you think
it's
about
not going to be anything out of the norm.
events, Epping, New Hampshire, they don't park in the track. Maple Grove, they don't
Right.
park in the track. When Englishtown was there, they didn't park in the track. So yeah.
No, exactly. That's yeah. Most of that I've heard has been from Buzz Creek locals, that unfortunately haven't been to too many races possibly. So that's why. But I think it's going to be cool. South Georgia the same way. There's plenty of room. There may not be plenty of paved parking, but I mean, heck, the thing you always hear is, oh, I loved parking on the grass. But then when you got to park on the grass, they're like, oh, I want to park on asphalt. Well, which is it? Do you want a picnic or you?
I can't remember the last time I've been to a divisional or a national that I was parked on cement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just people wanting to bitch a little bit, but I think it's absolutely good for both markets. The Washington D.C. market hasn't had anything like that. They had Virginia, but it's about 2.5 hours from Virginia. Not saying that the Maryland D.C. market didn't go to that track, but I can guarantee you they'll be at Butts Creek for the Potomac Nationals. And then
a half an hour to 2.5 hours.
Right. And then the same with South Georgia, with the closing of Atlanta, it's probably been 10 years now. Atlanta's been gone. That market is dry. They had to go to Gainesville. Well, now, they're going to have something in Georgia. So, and we just raced there back in July at the Jag Sports Nationals, and the track was great. The new owners have done a lot to it.
Yep.
It's the track was phenomenal. What's
Didn't
that?
we have him on the show once, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, great guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
over the winter. We had him over the winter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and about a year ago, he told us that this was his dream, so he got it. Good for him.
Yeah, no, that is great. That is great. Happy to see that. So yeah, but obviously, I'm looking forward to the MIR deal. I'll be there in some sort of race car. I don't know what class yet, but I'll be in something. So
Might be a Vega wagon. You never know.
it could be. It could be. Yeah.
Those humps that we have over the rear wheels, we might have to put one on the roof for your head.
We'll be fine. Listen, the Corvette Roadster I've been driving, I can't see out of that. So as long as I can fit in, I don't have to see out of it to race it. It's fine.
The run that I saw, you made it a point to see the sky, so that was interesting.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. I didn't send Chris pictures of that. I probably should send Chris some pictures, but yeah, I forgot to turn on the air bottle, and so the throttle stop nor didn't come on, nor did it shift. And that car's set up pretty aggressive on the start line.
Got a light on a
yeah.
373.
And it freaking stood on the parachute basically. So
Yes, now that you say that, I gotta see pictures.
yeah,
It's-
Um,
yeah, interesting ride.
so Jerron, here's a question for you. For the geographically challenged,
Hmm.
obviously I know the Washington Annapolis area. Where is MIR in relation to that?
So Annapolis, you're from Budds Creek to Annapolis is probably an hour, uh,
Okay,
depending on traffic. It's south of Annapolis. So Budds Creek is pretty much at the very bottom of the state. So
okay,
where um, Virginia, the Maryland Virginia line, Budds Creek's only oh shoot, probably less than 10 miles from the Virginia line.
okay,
Um, as the crow flies, probably less. Um, so it's very southern Maryland. That's where I live. I live on the bottom. I can say tip, but the bottom half of Maryland.
gotcha.
Um, so I'm gonna say it's from like the Philly area. You're looking at about a 2 hour drive. You know, it's 2 to 3 hours from like Maple Grove. It's Budds Creek is like 45 minutes from Washington D.C. from like Reagan Airport, stuff like that. Um, yeah.
Chris, I sent you a video and a picture.
Oh,
Oh,
geez.
live video too. All right, I'm watching the video right now. Let's see you reach for you going for your FAA license, John?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'm still nursing a nosebleed, but you know, it's all
If I
good.
was a chassis builder, I would have been sitting on the Jersey Barrier handing out my card.
Not to toot my horn because I did a horrible job, but when I lifted, I literally was like, "Oh crap, this is gonna hurt," and I tried to stand back on it as fast as I could, and I actually got back on the gas, but right as it was hitting, so I saved it a little, but I think I saved from
Holy crap.
damage, but
Yeah.
it still hit pretty hard. Yeah.
Even I know that's not right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, especially for a car that sits 2 inches off the ground in the front.
Yeah, right. Right.
It
Well,
was
it's
bad.
Hey, Henry, be free. In the immortal words of Cars.
Yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun at all. But you know, no excuses. The night before, so all of the Wings cars that I drive have onboard air compressors. This car doesn't, and it's the first race I've raced without the car owners, Pat War and Logan War. And fortunately, the last three races, they all when I'd get there in the morning, they'd have it turned on. I know I'm gonna catch crap for that, um, but they'd have it on. And so this race, Virginia, I made sure I had it on the first day, the second day. Well, then I forgot to cut it off at night. And the next morning, I'm like, I gotta make sure I cut this thing off at night. Well, I cut it off that night, and then the next morning, I forgot to cut it back on. And yeah, the
Yeah,
bad part is
that's the
you
beauty
know,
of onboard air. You turn the
yeah,
power on, it pumps the system up, and off you go.
yeah. So it, and the thing about it, it doesn't leak very much, but I had tested it a few times that morning, and and I think that's where I ran the air out because I
Left
tested
the
it.
air in the lines testing it, right?
Yeah, and that's where I screwed up. Had I not tested it, would have come on.
Right.
But yeah, but that's racing. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's happened
Think
to a lot of
the last
people.
dumb mistake you'll ever make?
Yeah. Hopefully it's the
No.
last one this year. But no, it's not.
You just agreeing to come on was another dumb one after that one. So.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, you've got it. I tell everybody, a lot of people don't believe me, but I'm a foodie, and the first few times I went to Louisiana, I was like, this isn't right. Like, there's no way the food can be. This just an anomaly. You know how you kind of what do they call it, chasing the dragon or whatever.
Yeah,
I
right.
went back next year and it was just as good, and every year, and it's like there's I don't know, a Shell gas station or something that's a couple miles from Britt's house, and I'm telling you, it's the best food I've ever tasted. And I'm kind of bougie. I'm not gonna eat food out of a gas station. Like when they first told me, I'm like, you crazy? I'm not eating that. And they're like, you gotta go. And I went and I'm like, oh my God, it's like somebody's grandmother cooking the food too. It's not like it's just some slop. It's like home cooked food.
Right.
And I mean, the store that Britt and Slate had years ago, they had a little old lady that used to wake up at 2 in the morning and get there and cook fresh biscuits every morning. And this is not just this is all the gas stations, all the convenience stores. Like, what is it with this place? I
We
know like
we got
if you
a
go,
Forbes gas station that opened up about 2 miles away from my house. And it's awesome. It's huge. I could bring the whole RV and trailer in and
yeah,
get diesel the whole 9 yards. Well, the people who own the property, their son just graduated culinary school, and he opened up a brick oven pizza place in the gas
oh,
station. And he had a soft opening last week, and he was just selling pizza by the slice, and he was giving it away. And people are like, "This is the best pizza I've had in North Haven."
wow,
So you know how the pizza is around here. You know that first.
that's saying something, yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah,
So
New
I'm
Haven,
just dying
North
to get
Haven,
there
whatever
and bring my
Haven.
gas station pizza. I can't wait. I get
Oh
some
God,
Fox
that's
Park and a slice, and I'll send you a picture.
man, that's crazy. Yeah, but now anybody on the fence about going to Gulfport, or obviously the first race coming up, Montgomery is important too, but get to Mississippi, get down there, and have a good time and eat the food. I mean, I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. It's one of those deals where you could lose first round, go get a plate, and be like, you know what, it's not that bad.
I'm half tempted just to buy a racer's wristband and walk
Just
around
to
and
go eat.
save the
It's
toe.
worth it.
Fly my ass down there.
Yeah. It's definitely worth it for sure. So, well, your motorhome will still be here in February next year. So just bring your trailer and car, and I'll run it over, and
It's
you fly
closer
in
to
and
the
drive
race
it.
than it is here, so yeah. Well,
Well,
Jerron, thanks for taking the time to come on tonight.
not a
As
problem.
appreciate you.
Not a problem. I appreciate it. I had fun, and I'm gonna go cook some dinner and go to bed.
There you go. Good
All
Not
right,
man.
we'll
going to
see.
work.
No, no, I'll work tomorrow. I'm working for the next, I don't know, 7 or 8 days. I gotta leave Wednesday. I'm here till Wednesday, and then I fly straight to Tulsa. So I took an early night tonight for you guys, but it'll be late the next probably 6 or 7 nights till Tuesday.
As I say, there's no way you're working normal people hours.
Do you
Not
want?
yet. Today I am, but
You
tomorrow
want me?
no.
You want me to give you a wake up call 4:30, 5 in the morning, whatever you want.
No.
I just got taken off the do not disturb list. My call will never go through.
He's gonna block you.
Yes. My plan is to be at the shop by 9 a.m. tomorrow. That's good, early enough.
What's the name of that body shop? I'm going to call there at 9:10. Ask for you.
Dallas Automotive.
59.
Yeah, don't call it 8:59 because I probably won't be there. But
Dallas will answer the phone and he'll be like, "Are you sick?"
listen, that's the plan anyway. Okay, the plan's 9 o'clock, but
You got to start somewhere. Our plan is
that, hey, rules are made to be broken, and so are plans. But I got a lot of work to do. I got another helmet for Tony Schumacher to do. I'm finishing up a dash for Jason Lawrence, and I got a Cobalt to paint, a dragster. I got a lot of stuff in the next week and a half. So
good.
it's
Good
crazy.
stuff. Well, good luck. Get it done, and travel safe. If I don't talk to you.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll talk to you.
All right,
Take care.
John, thank you.
See ya. Bye-bye.
You know what his biggest regret is, Pete?
What's that?
Giving me his phone number.
Probably. Probably. I'm probably right up there too on that list.
All right,
Yeah.
before we get out of here, we did have a winner for the guessing game at Virginia Motorsports Park.
Yep.
To say the entries were light would be pretty much an understatement. It was just over 500 total. But Matthew Haggard was our winner. He guessed 400, and he was the closest. Everybody was like 700, 800, 900
Up there.
total.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I mean, let's talk about that. You got, in my opinion, two things going against you. First of all, the forecast sucked. And if you're this late in the season, which I can't believe we're already saying we're late in the season, but you know, it's kind of like the opposite of New Hampshire, right? New Hampshire's all the way north. As far as Division One goes, Virginia's all the way south. Now it attracts a fair amount of D2 racers, but at the end of the day, if the forecast sucks and you're not in the points chase, you don't really have a whole hell of a lot of incentive to go.
Right.
The big incentive would be the double race, right? 2-for-1 tow. But that might not necessarily outweigh your car being worn out, not being in the points chase, in a crappy forecast. So it's definitely not a facility issue. The facility is beautiful. You know, I've raced there a couple of times, and it's a nice place to race. But you know, cold, damp.
well, it's
Wow.
even like it's been a long time since I had to navigate the traffic in DC.
Yeah,
So I forgot. I'm used to flying into DC, going to the hotel,
sure.
and then going sightseeing. So when Elijah and I went back in April or May, whatever it was, and drove down to Virginia Beach, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, whatever it was, I had my reckoning about how much the traffic really does suck around DC. So I can understand why a lot of people don't
Yeah, I
want
mean,
to
it's
make
just
that trip.
you know, and again, I'd be curious to know the numbers, and I'm sure Billy or Rob would be able to help us out with that. But they used to be, Virginia was the first race of the year, and it was the last race of the Jegs All Star. So I am willing to bet you that even though those were only single races, it wasn't a double. I would be willing to bet you that their attendance was probably higher in the beginning of the year than it was when they moved it to the end of the year. But again, it could have been, you know, 75, 80-degree weekend, and that could have changed everything. Who knows?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And a crystal clear forecast and
Right.
whatnot. You know,
Yep.
and Virginia is again one of those, who the hell wants to go there in June? Because it's a flipping hot,
Yeah,
you
right.
know, third level of hell hot.
Yep. But then this
So
time of year, it doesn't matter where you are, you could catch those weird 55, 60-degree damp, rainy weekends. It happens.
yeah, yeah. I mean, up here we're back into the 70s during the day and the 40s at night.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
woke up this morning freezing my ass off because my wife thought it would be a good idea to sleep with all the windows open. And then you know, you put a hoodie on and you go to work, and by 11 o'clock you're sweating your ass off. It's like,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so that's it. Update. I just want to give a real quick update on Lori Butler because I know a lot of people that tune in, you know, inquire about her. I had a quick text message with her today. She said she's still sore, but she feels better every day. And we don't even have to mention how grateful the Butlers are about all the support they've gotten. So yeah, they're on the road to recovery, which is the best thing anyone
outstanding,
can hope for.
outstanding.
Yep.
And I'd like to throw in too, um, Marvin is in rehab now.
Yep, yep, he's killing it
So
everything.
yeah, we're sharing his daily updates.
Yep.
He's absolutely killing it. I mean, it's July 9th. So 2 months ago today.
Much of the day, right?
Yeah. You know, you didn't know if he was gonna make it or not. And he's walking gingerly.
You know, I feel like it was a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, that he was just barely walking with a walker. And now it's like he's training for a marathon, right? He's on the exercise bike, he's pumping away, he's up and down on blocks and everything. And it's just, it's really cool to see the progression of someone that's determined with a big supporting cast, you know?
Oh, absolutely. So, um, yeah, so like I said, he's doing fantastic. I share the daily updates from his wife, April,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know, so I have gotten a couple of messages from people that want to know why, and I'll just throw this out. Everybody can go with it where they please.
Yep.
I'm not providing any kind of real heavy duty coverage of IHRA. And I will be quite honest and say I'm waiting to see where it goes for
Yeah.
anybody else that wants to ask.
Yep.
We'll see what the rest of the season brings. We'll see what the off season brings leading into next year. I will say that I have reached out to Daryl to try and have him on
Yep.
and get a little bit more firm idea. There's lots of rumors flying around about more track acquisitions and stuff. Um, so I said I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how to phrase this, but obviously we have, Marvin and his wife are friends of the show, who obviously have an issue with what happened at an IHRA event. Um, and we could definitely sympathize with that, and we could definitely understand it. At the end of the day, we also have a lot of people that tune in that are very happy with attending their events. And I will tell you that as it's no secret that I am a huge fan of the former No Prep Kings, and a lot of them are racing in IHRA Pro Mod, and I love watching them. So that's one thing that excites me about seeing them race on a track, and it's like a place that you can find them and watch them race. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's to each their own. I hope that they could find peace or an understanding or whatever, some kind of restitution for what happened. At the end of the day, everyone winds up happy and healthy, and we see a lot of good racing coming from everywhere. I mean, that would be the ultimate goal, right?
Right. Well, it's like I stated earlier, I do not want to see them fail. I'd love to see them succeed.
Right.
Give everybody a home.
Yep.
Those that can afford to run the NHRA side of things, beautiful. If
Right.
you can squeeze in an IHRA race here and there, wonderful. If you can't swing running an HRA,
Mhm.
and an IHRA is more reasonable for you, then so be it.
I mean, I don't know entry fee wise what the difference would be from getting into an IHRA versus NHRA track. I know right now the IHRA payouts are higher.
Right.
From sitting up here in the northeast corner, I'm visualizing IHRA tracks opening where there really isn't any big name NHRA tracks. So to me, I'm looking at it as just giving people who don't really have a quality home track another option.
Right.
Now, I can
Well,
be totally wrong. There might be some tracks that are only an hour away from each other. I don't know. But to me, it's like I said, McDonald's and Burger King, right? There's a reason
win-win
why they open up
situation.
next to each other. And
Yep.
if it gives more people more options that fit into their program, it's a good thing as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. I mean, it's like one of the things that I always liked was the crate motor program. Now,
Yep.
what I need to do is investigate a little bit on my own, or somebody can tell me, whatever. Is it like a ZZ4? You go to your Chevy dealership, say, hey, I
Right.
want to buy one of those, give them the 6,000, 7,000 bucks or whatever it is,
Sure.
and
Well,
take it home.
I do know someone that possibly has a big racing announcement for his program. And he also raced a lot of IHRA. And I know that him and a good friend of his built a crate motor stalker for IHRA. So maybe we should reach out to him and see if we can get him on the program and be able to answer a lot of questions about that.
Right, learn a little bit more about the crate racing side of
Yep.
life.
Yep.
All right, cool. Yeah, send that to me when you get a chance.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. But cool. Well, that was awesome. I like talking to Britt. Britt's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, and I'm glad Jerron was able to come on and hang out with us.
Yeah, the one thing, I mean, I've seen Britt. Obviously, I've seen him post. I don't know a lot about him, and because I'm really not a big dollar bracket race guy, I don't not know a lot about what he does. So that's one of the things about Jerron. He definitely has a very diverse racing portfolio. And he obviously knows the Cummings brothers very well. So yeah, it was great to have him on, and he definitely picked up my slack as far as the interview goes with his knowledge of Britt and family and what they're all about.
Yeah, I know we've had him on before. I don't
Yes.
remember if it was one of those you weren't here and it was
No,
just
I
Jerron and
remember talking to him before.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% sure.
If I'm not mistaken, I feel like Jerron was on also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
But next week, we're gonna have Jagger Naves on with us. They're gonna be talking about the burnouts for Bunny and Bear. He is a deputy sheriff down in North Carolina.
Mhm.
Really cool guy. Gonna be talking about that event. I think it's at MIR.
Very
I'd
cool.
have to double check the flyer. But yeah, so he'll be on with us next Tuesday
Mhm.
and working on some other stuff. And I think that is it.
At 8:31, that is definitely it.
That is definitely it. I got the orders.
There you go.
All right, everybody, you listen. Have a great night. If you are headed to Maple Grove, drive safe, race safe, have a good time, and we'll talk to you all next week.
Have a good night, guys.
See you.